Hey everyone, welcome to the Spiritual View. It is a special day of love. It is Valentine's Day, wherever you are around the world. Thank you so much for joining us. Hi, Peggy. Hi to all who are joining as we speak. We are a collective of 7 soul sisters who've come together with our unique gifts to merge our magic. And we have the lovely Dawn with us this evening, Jen, Angie, Marsha, and myself. We have 2, Elizabeth and Wendy, who could not be with us this evening, but we're sending you lots of love and light. Just wanted to make a couple of announcements this evening. We've got a great show for you. We're going to talk about some astrology. We're going to talk a little bit about a collective message around love, and we'll do some individual card pulls as time permits. All right, so we do have one announcement. For those of you who join us on Mondays, we have a live on Mondays at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we are actually doing a live on Monday at 7:30 p.m. on Dawn's channel, which is going to be an overview of Venus. Dawn, do you want to say anything about it?
So yes, I'm going to do that on my channel, where there's going to be what we're talking about, the main themes, a couple of the bigger highlights, and talk about some of the asteroid goddesses as well, because they are very connected with the energy of Venus at this time. So those are the things that we're going to talk about. But to give everybody an idea of what to look at in their chart and why we're going to be having such an important time with both the Venus and Mercury retrograde going on at the same time.
All right, thank you. All right, so per our normal way of doing things, we're going to be pulling cards a little bit later on the individual pulls. So if you could put a heart in the chat if you want a card pulled for you this evening, or a number, and Angie will select from the dice someone who hasn't been chosen yet for a reading who matches the number. So you can do that. And appreciate everyone being here. And we were going to call it Galentine's, but I think we can't. We have to call it truly Valentine's. And hoping that you're experiencing love all around you, whether it be with self or with your family or a loved one that's very special. But again, we're going to go ahead and jump in and welcome. We see there's Crystal, Peggy, looks like Ed, Crystal. Who else? Angela, everyone welcome. And as people are joining, we're just going to start by clearing our energies. We've made it through the week, and we are going to power down for just a few moments. So I would ask everyone just to relax wherever you are. We're going to start with a nice, deep cleansing breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. In through the nose and out through the mouth. Just continue to relax, settle into your body, into your chair. And I want you to think of a place where you feel very safe, where you do your alone time, whether that be out in nature, a favorite chair, a different location in your house, by the ocean. Pick that place right now and settle in. And as you breathe this beautiful energy of love today, I want you to picture someone or something that you love dearly, unconditionally. When you think of this person or pet or place or situation, it fills your heart with this immense joy. At the same time, it's very peaceful and calming and loving. Feel that vibration. Feel the love. Feel the warmth. Feel the joy of that special love. For some of you, it's holding your child for the first time. whatever it is, bask in this beautiful vibration of the heart as we are connecting all of our chakra systems up to heaven with this beautiful, warm, pink light today to celebrate Valentine's, and to go below and connect with Mother Earth. As you fill your energetic body with this beautiful vibration of love, express gratitude and thanks for this love in your life. And in the days ahead, when you need a boost of love, come into your heart. Think of this person or animal or place, whatever this means for you, that brings you such joy. And hold on to that vibration as we change the world, one person and one soul at a time. I'd like you to take one last deep cleansing breath in and exhale. All right, we're cleared and ready to go. And Dawn, over to you.
Okay, so I really think of this time that we're having right now is holding space, because right now Jupiter is going to be at 11 degrees for quite a while, and will barely move to 12 degrees, technically direct. Mars is going to be at 17 degrees until March 8th. So that is holding still, anything you have at 17 degrees. And you have Neptune and the North Node still a degree apart. So you have that energy of what dreams are you having? What messages are coming in for you? All of that energy is still very strong, and it's affecting us more than we know. It's just that it's such a long-term conjunction of those two things. So we also have Venus slowing down before she goes into her retrograde on the 1st. So take this time now to just hold still, right? We want to give ourselves energy, give yourselves a break. We're going to have very, very busy astrology starting from mid-March on, where it gets very intense. So take the time to rest, relax, and rejuvenate while you can. I would recommend that to everyone. Really, there's not too bad of any or big of any astrological moves going on, because everything is as slow as molasses right now out there. And Mercury just went into Pisces. So I think we need to just let our thoughts be those higher thoughts going on right now, and just take this weekend, this entire weekend, to just enjoy being you and give yourself some rest and sleep and relax. So with that, I will guess we'll get started. And who's going to start our... Oh, we'll start with Marcia for the start with a general read for everyone.
Yep. How is everybody tonight? I am so glad you have joined us. So the question that we've posed for the collective tonight is, how can we open our hearts in order to bring in more love? So everybody just kind of center on that question of how can we individually, which obviously ripples through the collective. I am pulling again from the Intuitive Whispers deck. I find that it speaks to so many different topics. And this Intuitive Whispers is actually broken down into 4 different categories as to how we use our intuition. There's the listening, the clearing, the rebuilding, and then the action. So in the listening realm right now, I drew a number 2 card called the Unraveling. And that looks like a beautiful lotus flower coming up out of there. And so much crystalline energy I just feel is emanating around that circle, but unraveling. So how we can open our hearts right now, unraveling is an opportunity to let go of the parts of yourself that have been holding you back. This transformational journey back to your intuitive self is like peeling off layers of an onion. Each layer that is uncovered brings a deeper understanding of yourself, creating a new confidence and ease. By choosing this card, you are ready to peel off another layer. Where are you feeling most stuck in your life? Is it work, romance, or self-confidence? In order to unravel, you have to allow yourself to be vulnerable. Look inward to uncover fears and insecurities in this area. And remember, vulnerability is power, not a weakness. The more you understand yourself, the freer you will become. And I think what the message here is obviously, and I think this speaks to, you don't know what choices are there until you've cracked it open, right? You have to crack and kind of see through the crack to see what could be next for you. And it's interesting that this ends on vulnerability is a power, not a weakness. And the underneath card is vulnerability is power. So just remember that, allow yourself, and even if it's only in your journal, allow yourself to be vulnerable, feel the feelings, and let them go this weekend. Okay, I am going to turn it next over to Sari for her collective card.
All right. Hello, everyone. I am reading from the Rumi Oracle, and I love this. Rumi's quotes can be a little long, so if you'll bear with me, I'm going to read you, and we'll summarize. It's called A New Gown, once again. If you look at the card, quite beautiful with this aura around her body. Weary and consumed by longing, I was caressed by my beloved last night. My wounded soul was set free when I tasted the sweetness of love. My spirit was lifted at once. I surrendered my life, overflowing with joy, and my vision filled with light. Love said, "Do not feel so hopeless, my weary and gloomy one, for my generosity is beyond forgetting those devoted to me. See how boundless divine justice can be. Behold my immeasurable kindness." Love offered me the power of a new vision and the transforming touch of a divine generosity, and placed the chalice of eternal wine in my hand. And that's from Rumi. So what this is significant about is a new day, a gown of new colors perfectly suited for you and no others. The colors of this gown will make your eyes sparkle and gleam and look like precious gems. The colors will make your skin seem luminous as if lit from within. For of course it is, beautiful angel, your complexion is radiant with the light of life. So this is a sign that your fears can go away to allow love to come in, because you can adapt and transform into this coat of many colors or robe of many colors by accepting and embracing closing of the old and release that to allow the new to come in. So part of this is the calmness and the pause that comes with that. It's okay to have this empty space between the close and then the new beginning in love. So this allows us to embrace that new gown in this new energy moving forward. And I will turn it over to Jen.
Those are beautiful messages. Thank you. So I have pulled with the Kuan Yin Oracle. So her energy has been around me a lot this past few weeks, and she's one that works on the heart. And so, I mean, it's not really surprising that she's been with me through some of the stuff I've been going through. And I think that she's probably been with a lot of people because a lot of people have been going through heart healing things. So the card that I pulled for how we can open our hearts to bring in more love is Veil of Shadows. And so the only way through it, is we have to look at it. We have to look at the stuff that we do not want to look at. And so all of that stuff really is coming out into the open right now. So it says, the lotus blossoms with deep, rich, sorry, let me get grounded a little bit. The lotus blossoms with deep, rich mud into which she plunges her roots and draws great nourishment. From this mud made of water and earth, growth happens, and great beauty is and great beauty is revealed. Your soul lotus thrives through depth and of emotion and aliveness of your body, into which she can plant herself and unfold as a lotus of light. So I'm shaking through this, y'all, because I'm feeling it way too deeply. I did get the angel number 133, which is opening your heart to trust divine love and step into your highest path with confidence. So I'm going to now move forward with Dawn.
Hello. So I am reading from a relatively new deck. It's called the Water Temple Oracle. And it is a number 2 card. Very loudly kind of reiterates everybody's message already. So this is Baths of Aphrodite. Aphrodite embodies the restorative powers of love. She invites you to bathe in her liberating spring water to soak up the essence of luscious love, spiritual purification, and invigorating energy. Aphrodite, an alchemist of transformative love, enlivens the spirit, activates intuition, and awakens your inner goddess. The nourishment of this goddess calls for a softening. See, feel, and know the splendor and love within you. Wash away everything from your past and present that no longer aligns with the vibration of love. Free yourself from excessive responsibilities and unnecessary obligations. An expression or act of love is self-nourishment. Refill your cup and reset your energy without any guilt. Treat yourself to a pamper day. Relax and enjoy the gift of self-nurture. Integrate gratifying self-love rituals into your everyday routines. That which is soft, fluid, and nurturing like water can be far more sustaining than inflexible high pressure. So, to me, that very much speaks to the energy of Pisces and going to that higher goddess level, the fact that this is Aphrodite and it's Valentine's Day, and allowing yourself to have rituals of self-healing. You cannot pour from an empty cup. So I want everybody to take that with them as a message that they're saying it's okay. It's okay for you to rest and rejuvenate and just enjoy who you are, with all of that high priestess energy, which I think we're all moving towards with this Pisces energy in the North Node. So with that, I will move on to Angie.
Beautiful. Yeah, I'm loving how all of these healing messages are coming together. I talked about that. Wasn't expecting that kind of reading last night, but that's what we got. So a lot of water there too in the High Priestess and the heart of the reading. So these are interesting. This is from the Wild Unknown Archetype deck, and I loved it so much, the mini deck, that I got the big one just so I could get the big book, because the little book, my old eyes, I couldn't see those. So this is called The Ocean. So how can we open our hearts to bring in more love? It is a 35 energy or an 8 of balance. And you can kind of see the yin yang there. And I feel like that looks like an acai berry. So what the little blurb says is that the ocean displays every emotion without shame. To witness its glassy moonlit surface and its unforgiving storms is to know the full spectrum of the human experience. And this is about the unconscious, the depths, the incomprehensible. The power of the ocean is unmatched. To step into its salty waters is to step into the unknown. By its sheer volume, the ocean represents the unconscious, all that is beyond our understanding. We cannot live within the ocean. We cannot claim it, manage it, or own it. It rejects our every attempt to dominate nature. Yet amid its overwhelming power, it calls to us, inspires us, and invigorates our life on land. It dissolves the quote-unquote little us. into the quote unquote big us. When the energy of the ocean is present, there is change stirring that is beyond any change you've known before. The ego must dissolve. The saline swells work on your very cells, your fingers, your fibers, your deepest underlying beliefs. Like Aphrodite, rise from the ocean's froth, a new being. Life is change. Let the waves crash. And she suggests to go deeper into this energy to check out Shakespeare's The Tempest, if that resonates for everyone. And also the Raft of Medusa. The last name is spelled Gericault. I cannot pronounce that. It's Gericault. If anybody knows that, please jump in and and save me from that poor butchering of that poor person's name. So very beautiful energy. We must release our old selves, guys, and literally that's what we talked about last night. We're evolving, we're changing. Our masks change. Everybody has them, and part of the old masks are about releasing those parts of ego that would have us live in fear, that would tell us that the same is safer. Let's just stay right here. We don't need to grow. And I feel like as a collective, we're tired of being afraid. We're tired of living in the what ifs. And it's go time. It's go time to be able to, we say it all the time, attract that energy without us. If we want that to change, that cannot happen without bearing witness to where our imbalance is within our own selves. So I feel like the ladies had such gorgeous energies in the baths of Aphrodite that was even mentioned. How fun is that? Just gorgeous messages here. So I hope everybody is having a very self-loving Valentine's Day. Take care of you. Make sure that you're taking yourself on a date. Treat yourself to DoorDash, whatever it is. Get the ice cream, get the everything. Whatever makes you feel good for you. Take yourself on the date that you would want to have. Thank you, guys. And we're heading back over to Miss Marcia. I bet you Marcia knows the name of that author. Somebody
No,
does. I
I'm
know one of you
sorry. I
guys does.
apologize. Okay, ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls in the chat, it's time. We're going to draw some cards for viewers in the chat. So if you joined us late, how this works is if you want a reading personal to you, go ahead and put a heart along with a number. I believe it's 1 to 9 in the next to your heart. And we are drawn to one of those. We will read for one of those. The number is so that later when we get to Angie, she will roll a dice and draw a person that way. I actually pinged in on Angela Banks way early in the chat. So Angela, if you are still here, my love, I have drawn from the Gaia deck for you. And the card that came out for you is, oh, let me back up. Angela, we want you to focus on a question regarding love. This can also be a question regarding a work matter, a relationship matter, and as you heard us in the opening talk about how can we open our heart. Is there some relationship? Is there something you need specifically to focus on with regard to love and opening your heart? In that regard, I drew from the Gaia deck this beautiful number 25 card. Let's see if I can avoid the glare. It's liberation. And I believe that somewhere within the past 7 days, 25 reduces to a 7. I think somebody else has pulled this card, or this definitely came out. We've been having a lot of this white dove energy. So, Miss Angela, here is the description: breaking free from a negative attachment. Whether you realize it or not, you have become too emotionally attached or dependent on someone or something, or You have allowed or inadvertently caused someone to get too emotionally attached to you. What at first seemed like a healthy friendship or interest now seems to be taking over your life or is creating too much codependence. A situation that initially seemed like a positive has now revealed a negative side. This is, in effect, like a form of addiction. You are advised to examine this issue and then create some space between you. For your sake and the sake of others, you must do whatever it takes to break free from this negative emotional attachment. Initially, this may cause some resentment or even a sense of panic, but the result will be well worth it. When you manage to emotionally detach yourself from this issue, you will have learned a valuable lesson, and this will serve you well in the future. And I think this speaks to all of us again, but Angela, sometimes we don't even realize how quickly we become an overdoer and an enabler for other people. Our empathic ways, we want to help people, we want to lift them up, but something in that relationship has really shadowed you. And I feel like this card is coming through today because you are a light. I'm trying to say like elevated, levitated. That's where your power is. So whatever you need to do to just break free of this, use this time, this Pisces time, this love energy to release it in love. And that way you kind of get the wind back under your wings. Okay. I hope that is helpful. I'm going to move on to, is it Sari?
Yes. All right. And I'm going to read today for Donna. Donna, hopefully you're still here. And I was drawn to the Mother Mary Oracle deck. It's just a beautiful deck. And the message for you from Spirit around bringing in love is Our Lady of Promise. Number 8. So that really is significant around strength and courage during this time. So Donna, the message for you from Mother Mary, and she just has this most beautiful, loving energy. Some people smell roses or see roses when her energy is around. Oftentimes Kuan Yin is there as well. So sometimes you might feel two different energies. I describe them oftentimes in color. But the message, Donna, is I promise you new life. Whatever you need to release shall become the sacred fertilizer for your new life. I promise that as you trust in me, I will guide you to the fulfillment of your heart's destiny. Do not shy away from what I ask of you. As you trust in me, I will lead you through fear and doubt, from fatigue and struggle into boundless energy of compassion and passionate purpose. I promise you new life. Let me ignite the passionate fire of your sacred heart so that you can burn with love and bring light to the world. And so, Dawn, I think your message right now is basically surrender and release, and ask for Mother Mary's guidance to help you during this transition, and that she will help infuse this unconditional love and compassion within your heart and within your soul. And I hope this message resonates, but it's just a beautiful message.
Okay, so I have pulled for, let me see, Monique Costa. And so the first message I got in is the foundation is being restored. But I have pulled with Work Your Light Oracle. And the card that I got is Mirror Who or What is Triggering You. So if you have a divine counterpart, this is probably connected with that. The filter of our own experience is how we experience life 90% of the time. Through our own projections, when someone reminds us of an unhealed experience, we get triggered. Often it's an unconscious thing. People and situations can trigger our mirrors to reflect back to us what we believe to be true about life, the universe, and ourselves. Mirrors pointing to our shadow and our light. Mirrors revealing the parts of us that are yet to be accepted, witnessed, or loved. This card is guiding you to look closely at what experiences or people are currently triggering in you and what they could be mirroring back to you. When you have felt like When have you felt like this before? Could they be opportunities to heal something in you? Or are they shining a light on something that longs to be witnessed in you? This goes for the good and the bad. The good, those who we admire and put on a pedestal, if we do not realize that we are attracted to them because we are like them, we will need to cut them down in order to rise to their level. The bad, those that we despise, are envious of or put down. If we do not realize that they trigger something in us, then it is still yet to be healed, and we will remain hurt and wounded ourselves. So, who or what is triggering you? What is it in you that they are triggering, and what part of you longs to be witnessed? And so, I mean, that just goes with the card that I pulled earlier, too, about just looking at your shadows right now and really inspecting, why is this coming up? Is it really something that they've done right here, or is this something, a pattern that has been repeating over and over, and it's finally time to look at it and deal with it so you don't have to keep dealing with it anymore? All right, so next up is Dawn.
Hello, and I am reading for Peggy. So I am reading from the Sacred Forest Oracle deck, and these have the most beautiful cards. So this is the back of the card, and the front of the card is Owl Spirit Wisdom for Peggy. This is a number 27 card. Ancient wisdom is emerging. You know the truth. Trust your intuition and perceptions right now. You are a truth seeker and a truth sharer. The owl sits at the shoulder of Athena and Merlin, revealing sacred truths. In some native cultures, the owl is also called the night eagle, for it has the majesty of the eagle but works silently in the darkness of night. This card can also mean that it's time to embrace your dark side as well as your light. Now, I actually chuckled at this because for the Scorpio reading I did for the all signs, Peggy made the remark about we had a saying whether you're a good witch or a bad witch. And to me, this is saying, yeah, you can be a bit of both. You can embrace both of those things. And finding the balance between the two, because nothing is ever pure light and nothing is ever pure dark. It's finding that balance. Oh yeah, Peggy, it is one of my favorites too. So this is for Peggy. And I always consider her like a wise woman of this group, because I think she greets every single person as they come in. And she's just an amazing support. And I know that she loves being a part of this whole, what's the word, tribe or collection of like-minded souls. So I will pass this on to Angie.
That's a gorgeous card. So pretty. Really nice. Okay, so I rolled a 7. Since Angela and Monique have already had readings, that means that Aqua Jen was the third person to have a 7 there. But remember that numbers are vibration, guys. So if you're resonating with that energy already, we're always here together. So there's always something in every message for us, but especially so if you entered a 7. I pulled my deck of the Lover's Path Tarot. It is Valentine's Day today. And what you're supposed to do with this, I usually pull an Aces reading with these, but you pull only from the major arcana to figure out what lesson you are going through in the Fool's Journey. And we see here Romeo and Juliet. And that would be the path of tradition. It is a card. Instead of being titled the Hierophant, it is titled Tradition. And the lovers in this card here, I'm going to take off my Farsi Oasis, pardon me. And this is keywords are going to be structure, conformity, and ritual. Romeo and Juliet are considered the quintessential example of star-crossed lovers, trapped by their families' traditional hatred for each other. Their love could only have a tragic ending. Sad as their tale may be, the love of Romeo and Juliet did bring an end to the tradition of intolerance that plagued their families. give way to a new tradition of peace and understanding. So, this is asking us that in love relationships, the desire for marriage may be apparent here, or some other formal structure for the sake of maybe even just security. This could be to do with awareness of your public image and the desire to kind of take the reins of that. It's also could be possible rigidity because it is a 5, and that's the fixed energies. Would be 5, 6s, and 7s. So maybe there is a way to look at something from a different perspective or a higher perspective or further out. Will this really matter in 5 years? Will it really matter in 10 years? With that tradition energy, too, I'm getting a legacy energy. It is, I have to say, because it's Valentine's Day, crossed by the awakening card, which is an 18, or excuse me, a 19 of the sun, and it's Cupid. So Cupid and Psyche are the couple in that energy. So just so you know, there could be a Cupid in the midst, and that's also about in that story. He was not supposed to. He was not supposed to be with Psyche. Cupid's mother did not like her, and basically forbade him to see her. And well, he went and did it anyway. And so that's how that story goes. It awoke her love, and she had to do a lot. So this is having to do with strong family energy here. Psyche had to really win over Venus, because she wasn't supposed to look at Cupid. They weren't supposed to be together. So she had to do the most. So maybe you have found yourself in that position where you are trying to help the narrative, or I hate using the word control the narrative, or let's use manage, maybe trying to manage the narrative a little bit more, or maybe we're even overdoing. Just be yourself. Just be yourself. Okay. I hope that helps you today, Miss Aquagen, and everybody else that chose a number 7. Back over to Marcia.
All right. So are we on round 3? I feel like we're on round 3. This is fun. I am pulling now for Puff. Puff, are you still there in the chat? And you had a question about how we kind of store our cards. I grabbed this. I have this little, it's an old little, I used to grow spices in it. So I have some of these that are much longer that will hold 7 and 8 oracle decks. So I have a couple of those, and this is just a small one. I'd love to keep those obviously handy. And then when I travel, I have several of these little bags. This one will actually hold 2 decks, or sometimes I'll take some sage or things to sprinkle around rooms and such if I'm traveling, or crystals. So there you go. I am going to ask you to just kind of settle in, take a deep breath, focus on your question of love, or heart opening, and whatever that means to you. I have pulled from the Season of the Witch Samhain Oracle deck. And what came out for you is elements. And this is a number 16 card. Again, we're getting that reduction to a 7, okay? And the keywords here are Mother Earth and harmony. Do you feel the heat of the fire, the dampness of the water, the whip of the wind, and the weight of the earth? Imagine being Mother Earth and dealing with all of these elements. Somehow she manages to find harmony. The Elements card represents harmony and the need to make room for all energies by allowing yourself to be present. For example, if you feel sad, sit in the sadness and ask sorrow what it needs to know. The same applies for the different emotions that come up for you. You are being guided to find harmony despite the various storms blowing your way. There is a reason for every symbolic storm, every quake, every fire, every mudslide. You may not see the reason behind these events. Nevertheless, the occurrences are happening so that you can release this energy, making way for the healing to take place. Each season in your life must have time with you. You must allow the abundance and the bountiful color of spring and the creativity and illumination of summer, but you also must allow for the releasing and the shedding of fall, the things that must fall away once they have served their purpose. And do not forget the quiet hibernation of winter. Don't fight against your seasons. Flow with them, embracing each one for the gifts offered. So, my dear, I feel like you're definitely in the thick of it, kind of is what I heard. So, there have been some getting pushed from every which way, almost like a grand, cross kind of squeezing you, or a vice kind of pushing you in. But you are so richly connected to Mother Earth and frequencies that I know within you, this card is telling me that you can balance all of that. Okay. And I used this example last week. Sometimes, in this, Jen brought up triggering. I know our hearts get triggered, especially around love, or disappointment or things like that. And when that has happened to me and I've recognized that it's a trigger, I sit kind of with my adult self pictured in my mind back to back with my inner child. And I'm just sitting there in silence for a long time, but I'm ruminating and meditating on, what is this issue? Do you feel safe? How can I make you feel safe? What can you tell me? And just get to, in that moment, the heart of your feelings and release them. I promise you, it will open you up to more gifts and more abundance. Okay. So hopefully that resonates with you, Puff. And we're going to move on now to Miss Cerie.
All right. I am going to read, I believe it's Jamie Jean Tarot. And this is the first time I've actually seen your name. So if you're new, we welcome you to the channel. So I was drawn to, I love Jamie Jean art. There we go. I was drawn to the shaman's dream for you about what could help you open to love. And this card, Jamie, is a perfect storm. It's a 44, which is a master number all around building a strong foundation. This is an invitation, Jamie, to act now, the courage to step into life, sheltering from turbulence. So when this card appears, it cautions you to be ready for an exciting, if turbulent, time. The winds are picking up, and you need to make sure that you are close to the eye of the storm. The key is to remain centered and balanced and bear witness at the forces that build in intensity. Notice how the loose stuff is starting to fly around, and recognize how little of it you truly need. Let go of any thoughts or beliefs or attitudes that can clutter the heart and cloud your mind. Then the storm will be absolutely perfect for you. So this is about letting it go. Ride the winds into your next destination. Embrace the rain or the snow. Remember that every time you try to argue with nature, you may lose. The perfect storm can also be a call to seize the moment. And this is another card signifying seize the day, the Latin word carpe diem. It's an opportunity that may be gone shortly, so do not hesitate. So I would say, Jamie, if there's someone on your mind, oh, that's great. It's all the 444. It's in your art. If there's someone that's on your mind, or someone that you feel like you need to express your truth to in matters of love, you've got a window of opportunity. So be looking for it, be watching for it. And if you need to either close the loop or have an honest conversation or take a leap of faith towards love, this card is telling you that you're in that perfect storm right now to step into that and to take advantage of it. So Jamie, welcome to the channel, and I will pass now over to Jen.
Okay, I have pulled for Kelvin. So the first thing I get is that you have somebody that's on your mind already, and that person is thinking about you too. I used the Work Your Light Oracle for you as well, and you got answer the call. What is your soul calling you to do? And so you could get a literal call. Okay, so your guidance is divinely guided. You are being called to answer the call of your soul. It might be scary, it might not make sense, but if you trust your soul's yearnings, you will live a life beyond your mind could possibly imagine. Answering your soul's calling is not a one time thing, rather, a lifelong dance. Deep down, you already know what you long for, what your soul longs for. Whatever you are called to do, that is your calling. Don't overthink it. Don't wait for permission. Just say yes. Most people are waiting for a step by step plan before they take the first step. But intuition doesn't work like that. It takes faith and courage to answer the calls of your soul. And that's why most people don't do it. But you are not most people. You're in exactly the right place to answer your calling now. You don't need to know the whole plan. You don't even need to know where it is leading. You just need to take the next step. No one has ever had the complete perfect plan. There is no end destination. There is no right or wrong way to do it, and you do not need permission from anyone else. Sometimes the more resistance we have around answering a soul calling, the more important it is to our soul's growth. So what is your soul calling you to do? So whatever the situation is, I mean, follow whatever your heart is calling you to do. So don't overthink it. Your heart has your truth. So don't overthink this. So whatever it is, that's your next step. All right. So next up is Dawn. Okay.
Hello, I have Crystal, and Crystal, for you, I have the card. It's a number 46. It's called Water Spirit, Manifesting Dreams. Your dreams can come true. However, there are a few steps necessary for this to occur. First, believe that you deserve it. Know that you are worthy because you are. Act as if your dreams had already come true. Water energy traditionally represents your feelings and emotions. When your emotions flow as clearly as a mountain stream, then you are at a pivotal time to distinctly state your intentions and dreams, and the forces of the universe will answer and support your dreams coming true. Now, the message that I got for you was about the fact that this is a stream. It is flowing water. It is about the fact that there's otters here and the playfulness which they play in the water. It's about taking that energy, and manifesting doesn't have to be hard. You can make it playful. You can make it joyful. And you don't need to concentrate on what the trip is there. It's like, the end destination is coming, this or something better. And I think that is what you should be saying to yourself, this or something better. And the stream will get you there. That's what the universe will do. You just have to trust in what's going on and stay in that playful, joyful otter energy that is just part of you. Once you have manifested your dreams, that's the sensation that you have. So live in that now, and that will get you there. So now we are moving on to Angie.
Thank you, Miss Dawn. Okay, I rolled a 3. So Monique, you're 2 for 2 there with your numbers. And then also Shrishi listed a 3. So after I shuffled, cut the deck in 3s, our Cupid and Psyche card is back on the bottom here again. And then the top of that was the Strength card. So again, with that lemniscate of that 8 of balancing energy. And in this deck, this love story is about Brunhilde and Siegfried. And it is, again, the 8th card, but this is one of the only ones that are actually called the same thing as the major arcana. So, okay, let me get there. This writing is so dang teeny tiny. Strength. This is about courage, leadership, and confidence. The Valkyrie, Brunhilde, was the favorite child of her father Wotan, divine ruler of the gods and goddesses. Brunhilde angered Wotan by betraying him when she was moved by Moral Sigmund's story of love. For the first time, she the power of love, which made her strong enough to go against her father's will. She agreed to help Sigmund, though Wotan had ordered her not to. This led Brunhilde finding her own true love with Siegfried, the son of Sigmund. So the meaning of this is the Knight of Wands and the Page of Wands here in this deck, in this picture. And this is about the transformation of weaknesses into strength. It's about integrity and the strength to do great deeds and having confidence in our leadership. So I love that. Also, we're seeing this. I've been seeing horses all week. I don't know if you guys have seen that, not just in the nights, but horses in general. And because we got two cards here of awakening, that is, again, the sun energy. I feel like I didn't do a good justice on that card earlier. This is about the Knight of Swords and the Page of Swords. It's really about being awakened by the tests of love, right? So Venus was jealous of Psyche's outstanding beauty. She instructed her son Cupid to pierce Psyche with his arrow so she would foolishly love the first creature she saw. But Cupid loved Psyche. He rescued her and secretly took her as his bride. Psyche burned Cupid by accident when she tried to see him by lamplight, and the angered god flew away. Venus put forth many trials to Psyche when she pleaded for her forgiveness. Cupid and Psyche were soon rejoined, awakened to the preciousness of their love only by its testing. So let that soak in there just a little bit. Those trials and tribulations, guys. This is emotional awakening. We're North Node in Pisces. I mean, the next 17 months, people are going to be waking up, and you've got to step up so that you can help them. Many of you are going to be helping them. So thank you in advance for that. I hope that helped today. Back over to Miss Marcia.
Jazz hands. Oh my gosh, you guys are giving me chills up and down. These are some fantastic readings. Okay, so focusing in on love questions, I am pulling this time for Jen Rogers. So Jen, thank you for being such a lively little soul in the chat. You make me giggle. I swear to beans. I just love your energy. So I shuffled and drew from the Intuitive Whispers deck for you, my dear. And the card that I drew for you was 44, Trust the Call. So focus in on your love interest or question regarding love. And notice the colors here, the numbers. If you were here when I first used this deck, I mentioned with this deck, there are 4 levels to the intuition cards here, and this one is in the quarter of the deck regarding action. But notice how this action really is receptive. There's a trust here. You're not really actioning anything, but receiving kind of this energy of trust in yourself. So let me get here so I can read that for you. Okay, here we go. Ring, ring, your intuition is calling. Trust is not given, it is earned. But your intuition has earned its trust from a lifetime of always being there for you. Maybe it is you who has been ignoring the call. Trust your intuition. You need to become silent, so silent that the only thing you can hear is yourself. Your intuition is calling you now. Are you listening? Maybe you have been too busy or distracted to hear it, but it is always communicating with you and directing you to where you need to go. If you are struggling to find clarity in the direction of your life, stop looking and start listening. Trust the gut instinct that is like your internal navigator. Long before phones became our navigators, we instinctively knew where to go. So put your phone away and trust this call instead. It is a call that has no agenda except your happiness. And Jen, what I intuitively heard is, somewhere, if you will get quiet and physically put your hand just below your navel and like right in your chest, ask spirit a question and do like a multiple choice. Spirit, if the answer is A, B, C, or D, and as soon as notice the sensations in your body, Spirit is going to communicate with you through your physical body. So get very still, or just first thing in the morning upon waking is a beautiful time to have just a 5-minute spiritual practice. So I think I'm moving now to Sari. Yes.
All right, and I'm going to close this out by reading for Judy. Judy, I hope you're still with us. I think this is a great message for many out there, and this is called Lost Love, and it's from the Gaia deck. It's a 35, which reduces to 8, which of course is Leo energy and around strength. This is around surrender, healing, and release. It is normal to feel sad when a relationship or a friendship ends, and many of us are going through that shift right now in closing out soul contracts and relationships with those oftentimes closest to us. This healing card has shown up in your reading today to let you know that everything truly happens for a reason. Trust and accept the higher forces are at work in your life at the moment, and that your soul is guiding you towards ever greater love. You may not feel it at present, but you are surrounded by an ocean of love. You will love more than you will ever know. There is little point in searching for answers, and accept things as they are. The truth is what is, yet it is also what was and what will be. There are no mistakes. Everything you experience has a purpose and is meaningful. All of life is a higher plan for you. Every day is a new beginning, yet nothing is ever lost for life, as it is an endless cycle. What goes around comes around, and love is eternal. So, Judy, for you and anyone out there, if you've gone through the loss of any sort of relationship, what it means is trust and accept that the universe has your back and is doing things in the background for your greatest and highest good. And sometimes it's easy to say that, but hard to accept it and to feel it. So, Judy, I hope that resonates. And for anyone out there, we're going to close today for this Valentine's Friday. We are so blessed and honored that you've been with us. What a great community. And again, speaking from all of us, happy Valentine's Day anywhere around the world, and have a wonderful and restful weekend. We will be back on Monday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. With that, sending lots of love, blessings,